What are some of the things that you should do if you want to start a business, but you have no idea where to even begin? Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. Recently, I interviewed a commercial real estate investor named Omar Khan. If you want to see the full interview, it's a live that we recorded on April 15th, 2021, and it's on our YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, go check it out. Just go to YouTube and search for Journey to $100 million. Every one of these podcast episodes is up there, as well as the full live interviews when we're talking to other entrepreneurs and getting tips and tricks about how to grow our business from learning about their business. So Omar, like I said, he's a commercial real estate agent, and he started his business about 5 years ago. And I asked him, like, hey, if you were to give advice to someone who wanted to start a business, but they didn't even know where to begin, what kind of advice would you give them? And he said something that, that I've said to others as well. And basically, like, you have to put yourself out there. You have to let people know what you're doing, and you have to network, and you have to give. And you probably heard this like on social media a lot. You have to give more than you take, right? So you have to let people know what you're doing by networking, take them out to coffee, all those kinds of things. But you have to get the word out about what you're doing first and foremost before you can go pitch them on whatever it is that you want to sell them. And this is especially important if you don't even know like what kind of business you want to get into. You probably have an idea, 2 or 3 things that you want to do, but you haven't really crystallized it. You don't have a plan. When you go network, tell people those 2 or 3 ideas, get their opinion, see what they think. You'll get really good feedback. But hey, I don't want to ruin this clip by Omar. So I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to transition over to what he said.
Then what I would suggest is, again, a lot of finance and a lot of people do it. And again, I'm using these examples because I'm from that world, right? So I don't know enough about other worlds. Informational interviews, I think, are fantastic. That's basically mostly how a lot of investment banking jobs get done, that you basically start networking within whatever area, rough area. You don't have to be like super precise, right? Whatever rough area you want to be in, and you take people out for coffee dates, I shouldn't call it because it's professional, but whatever, coffee meetings. And you kind of ask them and just make it about them. Don't try to pitch them on a job you want or yourself or whatever. Just make it about them and then maintain that relationship and network. So because a lot of times what happens is different people have various paths on how they got to it. And if you develop good relationships, you have a good network, many doors can open. But the reason why a lot of people don't do this is because this is obviously a long-term thing. And by the time a lot of people start doing this, they're so their back is against the wall. They want to get money. They're out of a job or something. And this is not a thing you do when you need money tomorrow to pay your bills. So this is something, the earlier you start, the better it is. And your network really is your net worth of sorts, right? So even if you don't know what you want, at least start talking to people, interesting people, and just going from there, because interesting people happen to know other interesting people. And interesting people, by and large, aren't very pigeonholed into just being one thing or one person. They might have one job, but they know other people. So that, I think, is something that really helps set people apart.
Yeah, I totally agree. You need to cultivate your network before you need to use or activate your network. And I see people make this mistake a lot. I especially saw it when I was an employee, and I would see one of my coworkers who like ignored LinkedIn as an example forever. And then all of a sudden you saw that they were getting a ton of connections, and you're like, that guy's, on the move.
Yeah.
But it was too late. Like by the time that they needed those connections, it was too late to start building them. So yeah, you have to build it in advance.
And look, my point is, think of this another way. If some guy or girl only hit you up when they needed something.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, you everybody knows it's kind of gross. I mean, don't do that. It's just it's just not cool, right? Like every time you need something, you give me a call, but other than that, I don't even exist, right? So that sort of stuff, right? And a lot of times I think people are forgetting the art of small talk. A lot of times you reach out to people not because you have something profound to say. You reach out to people just to say hello. Hey man, what's up? We haven't talked for 8 months, and I thought of you, and that's it. You don't need to have some spectacular reason to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And most people appreciate it, I think, actually, because it's a natural human thing, right?
That's great. That was awesome, Omar. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, million journey, how to launch a 7-figure business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years, and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you can apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.